Abusiafo Mahama ekopie mu ewo one of the biggest journalist shows so now. Nkoma a one Mahama diye efa election time ho so owini anase olusi a se olusi a eden action no be take. In fact nkomo no mu hu pa na yankoni yankoti said yankomanity.
On the election day, there's widespread ballot snatching and beating of people, and the military moving and intimidate people and shoot people, and thugs are all over the place rampaging. You want me to accept that result? It will depend on the transparency and fairness of the process.
Now, you've been campaigning on the promise of implementing a 24-hour economy. Can you explain to us what that means?
It's simple. I mean, if you incentivize businesses to run longer than 8 hours,
Wow.
they can't run with the same number of people. They'll have to employ some more people. The demand is there. We have the African Continental Free Trade Area. We have the ETLS, ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme.
How much will it cost your government to implement a 24-hour economy?
You can't put a cost on it immediately. 24-hour economy is not an event. It's a process. And so even while we're stabilizing the macroeconomic environment and bringing inflation down, bringing interest rates down, we'll be implementing the 24-hour economy. You are thinking about it as if we'll wake up overnight soon as I'm sworn in a 24-hour economy.
Will you be able to do that in 4 years?
We will start at least.
So your 24-hour economy then is a gamble.
It's not a gamble. Why would it be a gamble? 24-hour economy is not a new concept. It's been implemented in Sydney. It's been implemented in UK. It's been
But these are
implemented
bigger economies.
in Singapore.
You can't compare Sydney,
but
Singapore,
they started
to
somewhere.
Ghana.
They started somewhere.
You have 4 years. Will you be able to implement that?
4 years. Is that the end of Ghana? So after 4 years, that's it.
A new government comes in.
And says we don't want 24-hour economy.
It's possible.
Well, that's Ghana's loss.
Ghana is among the few African countries to pass draconian anti-LGBT legislation widely condemned by human rights groups. Will you sign it into law if it is brought before you?
It's not an anti-LGBT, it is a family values bill. It was approved unanimously by our parliament. You see, it's against our culture, African culture. It's against our religious faith, Muslim and all that. But I think that we must look at the bill, and the president must indicate what he finds wrong with that bill and send the bill back to parliament. Or alternatively, he must send it to the Council of State and get the Council of State's advice.
Is that what you would have done?
That's what I would have done.
And will you ever sign an anti-LGBT bill?
It depends on what is in the bill.
Corruption is a very big problem in Ghana. You partly lost the 2016 elections due to the perception of corruption. Now, several allegations of corruption have been leveled against this government, including mismanagement of public funds, theft, and asset stripping.
In fact,
are there any specific cases
because
that you will be investigating if you win this election?
8 good years.
Every year the Auditor General's report says that
this time around
was not properly accounted for and all that. Special court
last 4 years I would
the Auditor General's reports and hold people accountable.
In fact, so what's not opposition for 8 years there. It was this year election there.
When you were in government, you failed to address or find a sustainable solution to illegal mining. This government has also failed, and now the situation has worsened. About 60% of Ghana's water bodies have been polluted.
About
what will you do
20% of companies,
to address
foreign
the
companies,
problem?
in a 24 hours economy?
We're going to stop mining
government
in forest reserves. Then secondly, stop mining on the water
land
bodies.
commission.
You take a leach
parliament
pad where all the wastewater you're using will go in, and the water is held in the leach pad. We're going to hold the owners of the concession to account.
See,
will you continue with the prosecution of the anti-illegal mining protesters if you win the election?
How tight security is
to
going
be
to be
remanded into custody for 2 weeks
daytime
because of going on a
protest
protest I think was highlighted because they were raising attention to an issue that is of great concern to all of us. And because of their protests, government brought an ally to Parliament to reverse mining in forest reserves. So their protests achieved something. And so if I come, I'll let the Attorney General file a notice prosecution and stop their prosecution.
Turn on the notification button. So the any time be me post video bi wa ha. Also when you be ahwe. Chire wadwene na subscribe. That's it.